Beep. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Tiberious back again with another review. Today we have the Walther Q5 Match. Again, another really long name. I think the guys at Walther are sports cars enthusiasts because all of their names to me sounds like it could be a car name. You know, the Lincoln PPQ, the Audi Q5, and you go through the whole line, they all sound like car manufacturers. Anyway, I think Walther is one of the most underrated pistols on the market. Not the best, but definitely one of the most underrated. The grips are always good, the triggers are excellent, they're normally very reliable, and you can always find them at very reasonable prices. Now this particular Walther Q5 Match came from my buddy Paul. Paul also hooked us up with the Scar for a review as well, and I'll tell you, Paul has all of the sweet toys. This is Paul's truck, that is Paul's car, and Paul is a gangster. Anyway, this Q5 comes in this very nice case from Walther. It is not lockable, so it will not be TSA approved. You have your cutouts for all 3 magazines, back straps, Allen wrench to tighten down your optics, a couple different optics plates depending on which optic you want to run, and then another nice thing, if you put an optic on the pistol or a compensator or a larger magazine, it's already cut out for those things, so the space is already there. You don't need to recut the foam, which I thought was kind of cool. Your magazines are metal, very high quality, same exact magazines as the regular PPQ, so there's the advantage. The disadvantage is they only hold 15 rounds of 9mm. Being Walther calls this a competition gun, I kind of expected them to hold more than 15 rounds. Now you can get +6, I believe, base pad extensions, and the steel frame of this gun does come with a 17 round magazine, so it's not the end of the world, but for competitions I would like to see something a little higher than 15 rounds, but maybe that's just my opinion. The grip. The grip is fantastic. One of the best things about this gun. All PPQs and pretty much all Walthers, the grip feels fantastic. It's not very aggressive. You know, I wish the stippling and the finish on it was a little bit more aggressive, but the shape and the cutout of the grip is absolutely excellent. And like I said in the case, there's 3 different back straps, small, medium, and large, to custom fit your hand. I have to say this grip is second. As far as all polymer pistols, it is second to the VP9. I think that VP9 is the best pistol grip. You can either get the Q5 Match with a standard magazine release, like this here, or you can get the trigger guard kind of European style, similar to the VP9, whichever you prefer. I'm one of the unique ones who prefer the paddle style magazine release now. I've shot my VP9 so much, I prefer that one. But I think most people are going to prefer the standard. Now it is reversible. It's not ambi, but it is reversible, which I always prefer on pistols. So you lefties can swap it to the other side and you will be good to go. The slide release is also excellent as well. I'm a very big fan of the slide release and the magazine release. If you've seen any of my pistol reviews, you know if I can't reach the slide release and the magazine release without readjusting my grip, I'm not a huge fan. I really want to be able to just hit both of them without readjusting my grip and being slowed down. Now the slide release is ambi, left and right, and it is extended, but it's shaped and positioned in a way where I never ride it. That's me and my hands. You may be a little different, but I don't come close to riding the slide release ever, even though it is a pretty long and extended slide release. So I'm going to give the magazine and the slide release an A+ on this particular pistol. The trigger is also extremely nice. The PPQ triggers are one of the better polymer triggers out there. Let me show you what I mean. So you have a little bit of take up there, not too much, and then you come to that wall. The wall's pretty good. Now it says it's only, I have a magazine in here. It says it's 5.5 pounds, but it feels a lot less than that. And then your reset's pretty short. That's it for a reset. So I think the trigger is pretty good for a polymer pistol. There's your take up. Brakes pretty clean. Reset. It's a very, very good trigger. I think part of that is, even though it doesn't, the trigger kind of pulls kind of straight to the rear instead of being on a hinge. I know it's a hinge trigger, but it pulls different than like a Glock trigger. It's very hard to explain unless you see it and feel it. But regardless, the trigger on the Q5 Match is excellent. Also up front, you have a standard 1913 Picatinny rail. If you want to add any lights, lasers, doohickeys, whatever you want on there, which I think we need to do that, right? So the slide has quite a bit going on. It does have a tinifer finish, so it should hold up and be very, very durable. If I counted correctly, it has about 8,562 relief cuts to lighten up the weight. All jokes aside though, those relief cuts make it very, very easy to run the slide, whether it's from the rear serrations or the front serrations or underneath or press checks or whatever you do. The relief cuts / serrations are fantastic. The factory sights are very, very nice. As you see, it has a red fiber optic front sight that can be replaced, and then your rear sight is an LPA sight, and it is adjustable for windage and for elevations, which is great. Obviously, Paul put the RMR on there. And the big disadvantage, if you couldn't tell, is when you put a dot on, you lose the rear sight. Why do companies have you lose the rear sight when you put a dot on? Obviously, there's other companies that don't, like FN, but the SIG X5 I reviewed recently, the Canik TP9, you lose the rear sight. If it's just for competitions, maybe that's not a big deal to you, but for home defense or personal defense, I think there's going to be a good amount of people that make them very, very hesitant. I don't know if I would carry a gun without a rear sight. Now, you can get accessory plates to add in sights, and you could have it milled to add a sight in front of the dot, so there's some options there, but I don't like it when you have to take the rear sight to add a red dot. Maybe that's just me. Now, like most polymer guns, this is very, very easy to take the pistol apart. It is very, very Glock-esque. So obviously, we're going to make sure the gun is unloaded, get that magazine out of there. You're going to slightly pull back on the slide, and then this right here, these two tabs on both sides of the gun are the takedown levers. So we're going to pull slightly to the rear, pull down on those two levers on both sides, pull the trigger pointing it in a safe direction. Oh, I didn't do it right. There we go. And then the slide comes right off. Frame is very, very standard to any other polymer gun. You have some good sized rails that they ride on, but nothing extremely different. Inside here, we have a captured polymer recoil spring. Here we go. And then your barrel is, it's pretty big. It's a 5-inch barrel. Polygonal rifling, which I'm told is very accurate and very durable. I have no way of proving that, but I will say this pistol in general was very, very accurate. I was easily getting hits out to 100 yards. Now that we have the gun back together, let's take a look at the dimensions and the weight. It is definitely not the heaviest pistol in the world, but the length is pretty long. With that 5-inch barrel, it's a pretty long gun, so good sight radius for shooting at the range, but not going to be the easiest gun if you choose to appendix carry it, especially if you toss a light on the front. As far as pros, I have quite a bit. The grip feels great, like I mentioned earlier. I love the PPQ grips. They're not overly aggressive, but the shape is very good. The trigger is excellent, one of the better polymer triggers out there. The slide release and the mag release for me are almost perfect, or they really are perfect. I wouldn't change them if I could. I can easily reach both without having to readjust my grip, which is a very, very big deal for me. As far as cons, losing the rear sight for me is always a bummer. If that bothers you, obviously that's totally up to you if you care about that or not. And then the way the recoil feels. The grip is the standard PPQ grip, so it's a smaller, lighter polymer grip. And the slide is pretty big. It's pretty good sized slide. So as you shoot, you have that slide coming back and forth with a lighter grip, and you feel it. It's not bad. It's 9mm, but you definitely feel that recoil a lot more than other pistols because of that. Don't get me wrong. Again, I was easily getting hits out to 100 yards without even trying. It's a very, very accurate gun. I just didn't really like that recoil impulse. Now, to be fair, every single time I took the Q5 Match out to shoot, I also took the X5 Legion out to shoot. And this gun, if you don't know, weighs 43 ounces. This one is like half of that. So maybe my opinion and what I thought and how it felt was a little swayed, to be fair, because this gun is the fastest polymer gun I've ever shot, and possibly the fastest gun, period. This gun is a beast to shoot. As far as uses of this pistol though, it's definitely geared, made towards competition. You could easily use it for self-defense or home defense. It would be fine doing that. It is very, very accurate and reliable gun. If you are a Walther fanboy, or if you have a Walther PPQ or something and you're looking for a competition gun, this could definitely fit the bill. If you are not a Walther fanboy and you're looking for a competition ready pistol, it's probably not the first one I would recommend. The Canik SFX for like 300 bucks less, I would probably choose that one first. Hell, you could get the Canik and a Holosun dot for less than just this pistol. If you were willing to spend $100 more, I would recommend the X5 Legion. This is a very good gun, but for $100 more, in my opinion, you get a lot more gun for the money, and I shot this gun way better, especially closer up, than this one. At distance, not even close. I was killing it at 100 yards with this gun. One more time though, let me thank my man Paul, the gangster that he is, for lending us the Q5 Match and his SCAR for review. That is greatly appreciated. And let me thank you guys for watching. It is also greatly appreciated. If you would like to support the channel in any way, we have a million ways of doing it. Simply just liking and commenting on this video really helps us out. If you want to see what we have coming up next, consider clicking the subscribe button and clicking the bell notifications. This way you know the cool reviews that we have coming out next. If you want to see what we're currently working on, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links for both of those are down below. And then last but certainly not least, we have two channel sponsors. We have Howling Beard Company, if you want to show your beard some love, and M2 Tactical Solutions, who makes the best polymer gear in the game. Discount code for both of those is Tiberious in caps. Thank you guys one more time for watching. I will see y'all next time. Peace. First shots with the Q5 Match. Ooh, got some ricochet in the nuts. Alright, shoots great. Trigger's awesome. But with the light frame and the big heavy slide going back and forth, especially because I just shot the X5 Legion 30 seconds ago, that you feel that slide ka-chunk moving back and forth, especially with the small light grip. But easy to shoot, no doubt.